Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on the channel for today's 2022 running back episode. I've made defensive line and linebacker, I've made the DBs, I've made the offensive line and the receivers, but today is the running back's turn. And these six guys are by far the biggest targets on the board left for the Fighting Irish, and I'm going to go over which ones are being recruited the most, the least, odds, etc. For anybody wondering, Notre Dame does have one running back committed. That is Shadarian Price from Texas. He committed about a week before I made this video on March the 3rd. And his commitment looks solid. Very high academic kid. I'm not worried about that commitment at all. And he just committed, so that too. But Notre Dame is set on taking two running backs in this class. So one of these six, I'm 99% sure will end up in this class. Names can emerge later, like Audric Estime did. But right now, I'm really set that one of these six will be in the class. Because at this time last year, 2021-wise, Donovan Edwards was up there. But it was Will Shipley by far as the top target on Notre Dame's board. Okay, I'm going to start with Brian Payne from Cincinnati, Ohio. He released the top 5 over the weekend of Penn State, Notre Dame, Northwestern, Alabama, and Florida. My pick right now is probably Florida. I think Northwestern is up there. I think Notre Dame's probably running 3rd or 4th, and Bama's in there because Bama's offered, and the slots open up at Bama. I think he'd take that spot. He's a high academic kid, though. Florida, Northwestern, Notre Dame, all top academic schools, especially Notre Dame and Northwestern. When it comes to football, you got to have a high GPA, and you got to be a hardworking student to even get in. So, yeah, huge fan of Brian Payne. Ranked in the top 200 on 247 and Rivals, so he clearly has the analyst like in his game. Right now, I think he goes to Florida. It's kind of interesting. If Ohio State were to offer, I think Ohio State lands the commitment if it's committable. He is in contact with the Buckeyes, so that's something to monitor. But yeah, big fan of Brian Payne. And also something to note, Damari Alston, Hayden, Singleton, and Payne are all kind of in a cycle with Florida, Notre Dame. You'll understand more, but all these guys have offers from the same type of schools, and they're all getting recruited heavily. Hayden, Singleton, and Alston are probably the top 3 in Ohio State's board. Hayden, Singleton are probably 1 and 2 on Notre Dame's board right now. And then Payne and Alston are probably the top 2 guys on Florida's board. So wherever these guys go will determine a lot when it comes to national running back recruiting, because most schools are taking 1, some schools take 2. Notre Dame is taking 2. So that's just a quick note. Let's go to Zach Evans, a guy that has very high interest in Notre Dame, and I think he would 100% end up in Notre Dame's class if Notre Dame pushes, but I don't think Notre Dame will. I think Notre Dame probably leads for Hayden right now, and I think they'll end up getting Hayden's commitment in the next few months. That pushes Zach Evans to go elsewhere. I think that school is Utah right now, but there's a while to go, and he's a guy that I don't think will commit until late. Notre Dame right now, not really pushing for him, and I don't know why you would. Zach Evans, talented kid, but the Notre Dame staff prefers Hayden, and I prefer Hayden as well. Damari Alston's a guy that was generating some buzz. He's very close friends with Kari G, 2021 Notre Dame signee. They go to the same school, Woodward Academy in Georgia. I'm a huge Damari Alston fan. I think he's talented. Florida, Ohio State are really, really pushing for his services right now. Bama and Georgia are making a little bit of noise too. I think he's going to end up at one of those 4 schools. I really don't see it any other way. I think he could also rise in the rankings. He's 178 right now. I could definitely see him in the top 120, 110 at this time next year. And Alston, just another talented kid. But I don't think he's at the top of Notre Dame's board, and I don't think he wants Notre Dame as much as some fans want him to end up in Notre Dame. Gavin Sawchuk, this is a kid I'm crazy over. Reminds me of CMC, reminds me of Will Shipley. I will note, though, he plays some crappy competition in Colorado. That's just something to note. He's a little bit smaller, 5'11", 175. But super talented, has the offers to back that up. Oklahoma's in a solid lead right now. Oklahoma is taking 2 backs. They already landed the number 1 back in the country, and they might add the number 2 back in the country. So Oklahoma might just get a hell of a running back class, and Gavin Sawchuk would just add so much more to that, his versatility out of the backfield. He has visited Notre Dame before, if anyone's wondering. Michigan's high on his list, too. He's visited Michigan. Notre Dame's probably running 4th right now, maybe 5th. I don't think he'll end up in this class, but he's definitely a talented kid, and I'll be excited to watch him wherever he goes to play his college ball. Dallin Hayden, this is a kid I'm super high on, and this is a guy that I think will end up in this Notre Dame class. He's the top 5 of Oregon, Tennessee, Ohio State, Illinois, and Notre Dame. He added Illinois. His older brother played under Brett Bielema at Arkansas, and then Brett Bielema took the Illinois job, transferred to Illinois, and he's scheduled to play his graduate transfer year there this fall. Illinois is a contender, but I think this is really gonna be a Notre Dame Ohio State battle. His dad did attend UT, had a good career there. I believe he played in the NFL a few years, but I think Hayden wants to pave his own path, and he's super, and he values academics a ton. And I think that will take Notre Dame past Ohio State in his mind. Super close with Lance Taylor. Tommy Reese has talked to Brian Kelly a few times. I just think Hayden, when push comes to shove, will end up in this class. I think it might be a little while. He's hoping to take some visits, but I definitely don't see him dragging his commitment on past his fall season or into his fall season. I like this commitment ending up to be in favor of Notre Dame. And then finally, Nicholas Singleton, the guy I also love. I like all these guys, but Singleton is special. I do think Singleton might be the best overall running back in this entire class out of everybody. He's ranked number 9 right now on Rivals, but Singleton is just so good. He's just special. I don't know how else to say it. Has an unofficial top 3 of Ohio State, Penn State, and Notre Dame. I think Ohio State's in the lead right now. Not by much, though. Penn State's on Ohio State's heels, and then Notre Dame is probably trailing in 3rd. He's been to campus 2 or 3 times. I believe it is 3. And I don't know. We'll see. I don't think this is trending towards Notre Dame right now. I think this is trending towards the Buckeyes or the Nittany Lions. But you never know if Hayden chooses elsewhere and Singleton is still on the board. Not a lock for any school. I think Notre Dame would just put all of its eggs in his basket and push. If that doesn't work out, you can snag a guy like Evans or maybe even Payne. But right now, Singleton, I don't think will end up in this class unless something drastic changes. So if I had to make a prediction, we're 8 minutes into the video. Jadarian Price, current commit, will end up in this class. And then Dallin Hayden will end up in this class. 2 guys that I'm high on, 2 guys that are ranked in the top 200, 2 4-stars. So you can't get mad at the staff and co. Of course, they don't care about the rankings. They shouldn't. But for the viewer standpoint, I try to talk about the rankings because I do think stars matter, and I do think rankings matter at the end of the day. It's proven with the NFL draft and the college careers a lot of those top guys have had. So, yeah, Hayden and Payne, great class. I think it's better than Diggs and Estime. I think Estime is better than Hayden and Price. But I think Hayden is better than Diggs. I think Price is a little bit better than Diggs, but still 2 fantastic classes for Lance Taylor and 2 guys that Notre Dame fans should be super excited to get if they do end up signing. We are 9.5 months away from that. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment. I answer all the comments. And, yeah,